Many people, especially if you're a Miami Heat fan, have this one question. Should Pat Riley be on the hot seat now that he's missed 4 times at getting them the stars they needed? Let's talk about it. Listen, if you're new to the channel, please, I want you to like, share, but most importantly, I want you to subscribe, because a lot of you all who watch me on the breeze come over here but never subscribe, which is a little weird. I'm not feeling that. But anyway, let's get to the topic, man. Listen, you know why you came. There's no need for any long introduction with that. Pat Riley has missed massively in many different races for a star to come to Miami for them to build upon. And many people are thinking it's either Pat Riley's ego or things of that nature that makes him believe that he can fleece the league like he's done before in the past. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think that was his moment. I don't think Pat Riley realistically had the leverage that most people think he had, especially in this situation. But let's break that down. A couple of things you have to understand with this is that Pat Riley was actually aided a lot by the player. Dame actually said he wanted to be traded. Now, if Dame had said he just wanted to be traded, period, we would not be as upset with Pat Riley for not getting this done. I don't think anybody would have been upset with Pat Riley for not getting this trade done, because there was other teams with better offers. And the team with the best offer, or at least one that mirrors closely to what that organization was looking for, i.e. Portland, I mean, you get beat out. And we all know that they just didn't have the pieces. You want to keep Jimmy Butler. You want to keep Bam. You want to build around that. So giving up one of those pieces wouldn't have done it. And again, totally divesting yourself of any and all assets that you still had wouldn't have made sense either, compared to what other teams were willing to offer or could offer that wouldn't damage them as much. So from a strategic standpoint, not really. There wasn't much you could do in that situation. What tilts that scale, though, and why a lot of people are upset, if you really break it down, is the simple fact that Dame said, I want to be traded, and I only want to be traded to Miami. Now, here's the caveat to all of this. Not only did he only want to be traded to Miami, the players in Miami were like it was anything but done. It was everything but done. Realistically, we felt like there was no other way. Dame had even said he wasn't even going to play if it wasn't to Miami. And apparently, reports are saying that he even tried to rescind the trade once he realized he wasn't going to go to Miami. And the Portland Trailblazers rightfully said, nah, bud, this is done. And realistically, it was the right move to make. And to be honest with you, we all bought into the idea that the player themselves have the ultimate control as to where they land in this NBA, and that's just not true. While it is true that days of old, players could sit there and dictate where they want to go or force themselves out, very few players in the league can actually sit there and dictate where they go and how it gets done. Very rarely. Everyone looks at LeBron James' momentum and movement around the league, but very rarely do they sit there and look at the fact that he wasn't traded. A lot of his moves were free agency moves. It's a big difference. Now, to get the pieces they needed to surround him, those were trades. But a lot of LeBron's movement have been 1-2 year contracts. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do, stuff like that. It's not even a comparable situation. You look at some people like James Harden, how they've been able to force themselves out of situations where realistically he forced himself into a situation that he really only forced himself into one situation that kind of tilted his way. Other than that, he had a lot of help, i.e. Dale Murray being the GM for this Philadelphia 76ers coming from Houston. Like, that was kind of a no-brainer. That GM was going to do whatever he needed to get him there. And then it's just how it all unfolded. Like, how it unfolded and how things happened, it was kind of a no-brainer. But the way that Dame was trying to do it was a lot different than those cases. It was a lot different. It kind of didn't even make sense for him to do it that way. And by pigeonholing himself, he created this kind of hostile environment where I think realistically, if it had been done differently, or at least on the public view, Portland would have been willing, or at least to entertain something a little different. But it seemed like a little strong army. And that in itself didn't bode well, especially when you had a team that could basically giving you bubblegum back for Dame. Like, it really wasn't a equal trade. The Bucks gave them an all-star guard who can average 20 and 10, known as one of the best defenders in the league at his position, better than Dame for sure. Like, realistically, Milwaukee always had the better team. Now, what does that have to do with Pat Riley? Pat Riley just didn't have the leverage. He just didn't. Like, if you really think about it, he put together the best package he could while still maintaining his two stars. He was not willing to divest of all his shooters, which is smart. You have to have some people there. Like, let's be real. You have to have some people there. He pretty much maxed out all the picks he could from some of the offers. And Portland wanted more. And they rightfully so deserve to demand more. I mean, realistically, they were trying to trade a bunch of people you get on a G League team. It just is what it is. No one wanted Tyler Hero. Kind of just is what it is. They didn't want Tyler Hero. And so it was one of those things where it was just like they didn't have the leverage you all thought they did. And they weren't really meeting the expectations of the Portland Trail Blazers. And Dame does not have a no trade clause. So at that point, you're cancer in my locker room at this point because it's clear you don't want to be here. The team knows you don't want to be here. I can't bring you back for that reason. You're pretty much trying to strong arm your way out. You've done great by the city. Apparently, we failed you. Unfortunately, everything doesn't work out. Portland did what they needed to do, and they said, "Hey, you know what, Pat? We see your offer, but they're giving us what we want. We're going to take that offer." And at the very least, it was, yeah. Now here's the funny part: they're not keeping Drew, which makes that wild. It kind of makes it seem like a screw you a little bit if you really think about it, because they made a trade for a player who fit their parameter, kind of all-star guard, but they're not keeping him. And everything else they got back was like, they found a way to get Nurkic's contract off the books. Great. But like, they really didn't keep it. So there is some like something to look at there. Like, they're not even keeping Drew. But what can they get for Drew? You can get more picks. So they've essentially turned one player or two players, if you look at Grayson Allen, it's a multi-layer trade, don't get me wrong, into multiple picks, get DeAndre Ayton, who helps them a ton, right? It was a trade that made sense for them, especially because, again, it was something that involved another team willing to take on the assets and the contract to get them done. They really just made the best move for them. They got what they needed. Miami was never in a position to be a part of that conversation. And so in all actuality, Pat Riley didn't get fleeced. Pat Riley didn't lose anything. Pat Riley didn't drop the ball. He put together the best options he had based off the roster he had constructed without giving up major pieces. And I don't think anyone should feel bad about that. Now, here's the key, though. I will say this. He needs to go out there and make a big splash. He needs to go get Drew Holiday. He needs to make that happen. That needs to get done. You do need more than what you got to the finals with last time. There's no way in the world that you're going to sit there and tell me that this Heat team is going to make it back with what they have. And they don't even have what they had to make it there anymore. Like, realistically, do they have the stars there? Technically, they got the core there. Technically, they don't have everything else. Max is gone. All the people who really made all the people who did all the little dirty stuff. I mean, gritty stuff, not dirty like dirty players, but like all the people who really brought the grit, grind, and hustle to that team, a lot of them are gone. They got signed somewhere else and things of that nature. So on multiple fronts, from how you move forward, because I don't believe you were in any strong position for Dame, you have a lot of rebuilding to do. And you need to do it by getting another high caliber player. I believe the super team era is dead. I don't think even adding Drew Holiday as an all-star makes them a super team. But you do need stars on your team. All-star level does not mean superstar. You need all-star. You need elite level talent on your team. You need people who are name recognizable and bring their game translates to the court, and they can hold their own at each and every position for the most part, or at least people that have high deficiencies, and they don't have that. So at this particular point, he needs to go out there and get it. I think he needs to also sit there and give Boogie Cousins a call. Now, I know that everyone's going to sit there and say that the Boogie outcry is wild, but they don't have a whole lot in Miami right now that makes you say they have a shot. The only thing that makes you think they have a shot is Jimmy Butler, if they make it to the playoffs, being able to wheel them as far as he can, and we've seen him do it twice. But how long can he do it? He's not LeBron. He's not LeBron. He's not that imposing of a player. And even LeBron had a ton of help. They got him the pieces. You got to get Jimmy the pieces. You got to get Jimmy the pieces. Even LeBron had other people who could help close games. D-Wade did it for initially. Kyrie did it initially. He got shooters to knock down in clutch moments. AD carried them in that bubble into the finals. I don't care what anyone says. He's had elite level help all the way down. And he's had teams that were constructed specifically around his deficiencies, things that he didn't do well, which is what you're supposed to do as a GM. Pat Riley has to do that for Jimmy Butler. And he has to do it with better guys. Now, here's the thing. Coach Spo also has to be better in how he uses his backcourt. Like, realistically, Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson at one point lit the league up. You have two people who could be elite level shooters. You got to find a way to not only get them involved, but get them utilized on the court. Because if you can spread that floor and allow Jimmy to do what he does mid range and allow Bam a lot more spacing on that court and give people who have to be honest on the perimeter, that team looks a lot more dangerous if you can get that clicking. But you still have to get a high level point guard. Kyle Lowry took you on it so far into his rope. We saw how that ended up. He still played well in the playoffs. People forget that. Drew Holiday is that guy that they need. But I want to hear your thoughts, man. I want to hear how you feel about overall. Did you feel like Pat Riley dropped the ball? Obviously, you see that I didn't, but I'm a basketball fan that likes to think objectively. I like to sit there and just remove my emotions and just really see what happened. And that's what I saw. I want to hear what you saw. Do you think that they need to get Drew Holiday? I think it's a must. Some people think that, hey, maybe not. But again, whether it's love, whether it's hate, put it in the comments. I'll be there with you. Overall, the NBA season is coming back, and this is P.kidd Talks NBA. We've been mid on the NBA talk because there ain't a whole lot. And the one thing you'll never get on this channel is I'm not gonna force it just for content. Like, I'm not gonna make content every single day just to force content. I'm not gonna do that. I have enough content that I feel comfortable with on the breeze. Y'all catch me over there. But on my channel, I do what I want, how I want to do it. And that's just how I'm going to rock with it. So anytime you see me talk about something on here, it's not going to be a reach. I can't do it to you. So I hope y'all appreciate that. But again, whether it's love, whether it's hate, put it in the comments. I'll be in there with you. Till next time. Peace.